Mims Davies.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I welcome the Deputy Leader to his place, and it is indeed an honour to speak in this adjournment debate. I am going to take members on a quick tour around Mid-Sussex, if I may, for it's my first time on the backbench to be able to do this for some time. So I hope, Mr Deputy Speaker, you'll indulge me as I talk about my predecessor, who, if the rumours are true, may be in the other place very soon. And in conversations with his former agent, Sir Nicholas, I was talking to Ginny, his long-term agent. I said, please remind me of your time with him and some tips. And what I would say is one of the message was, if you ever order scampi and chips, you better make sure you get some spare scampi, and always have a spoon to share dessert, because he'll never order his own, but he'll definitely want some of yours. And when I first stood as a candidate, I said to Nicholas, could you give me some tips how it might work and what I might think? And he said, Mimsy, be careful. There's some very clever girls on the candidates list. I mean, some of them are lawyers and barristers and everything. But he was nothing but charming and incredibly supportive. And one of his favourite things was Fridays in the constituency, which we all absolutely love. And that's my favourite experience as well. And apparently surgeries were hysterical, not surprisingly. But he was impeccable in supporting jobs and schools and businesses, country pursuits, and of course the South of England show in nearby Ardingly. Also supporting the Hayward Heath bike ride, the Mid-Sussex Marathon weekend, which I founded, and he was a brilliant support from day one. So we wish him incredibly well. And one final note is when on his rather famous diet he found tuna flakes. He found them in the PCH in the little pots, and it was life-changing. I've never experienced these things. These are tuna flakes. That's what Ginny told me. So it very much is a pleasure to follow him and speak about my constituency. So the gallop around being in Mid-Sussex has meant that over Zoom and Teams and over the last few years, I think I've managed about 300 groups and conversations on Zoom or physically meeting people, whether it's giving out COVID certificates, meeting businesses or seeing organisations, churches, schools and shops, of course.
I just want to say thank you for your role over the past few years, supporting me in Watford with the local job centre, and in particular helping support the launch of the self-employed mentoring scheme. Thank you.
I thank my honourable friend from Watford for that. It was an absolute pride and joy to be at DWP for the last 3 years. 163,000 young people going into their first jobs, opening over 150 youth hubs, 200 new job centres through the COVID impact, and it was remarkable to see just this week 2 million more women going back into work than since 2010, and that's been very positive. And the self-employed and the support that job centres can give is really important. I know my honourable friend does an important work mentoring and supporting in his own constituency on that. And the honourable lady from across, and I forget what her constituency is because she's left the chamber, mentioned supporting Afghans and Ukrainians resettling and getting people into work. Job centres are absolutely the heart of this, helping people in hotels, helping people to get a fulfilling career, whether they are resettling or whether they're a veteran or 50 plus or impacted by the pandemic. So I thank my honourable friend for that. In regard to jobs, in fact, it's very exciting to see the University of Sussex research facilities come to Hayward Heath, the Universal Quantum Limited there, and I'll be having my latest bounce back business breakfast at CEA Systems in September. And in fact, Boeing, also based in Burgess Hill, were here in Parliament just this week. And there are some amazing charities that I have in my patch, including Group Strep B support, which were in Parliament just this week as well. So I'm sure we're all going to enjoy our summer off as we go to visit many of our businesses. And some of them, without the Welcome Back Fund or the Cultural Recovery Fund, simply wouldn't be there. So the support, for example, for Board Hill in my constituency, the Orion Cinema in Burgess Hill has been acute. But a couple of issues I must raise. DLUC needs to help shovel-ready regeneration projects actually get their money and get things out the door. We've been waiting since 2011 for a new town centre in Burgess Hill, and people are getting fed up. And there have been 2 planning permissions. We are ready to go, and I really hope this new application coming forward will help support our beleaguered High Street. We need a new Clare Hall, which has been delivering vaccinations, but we need a cultural centre back in mid-Sussex, alongside a running track and much more support for sports pavilions and other areas where absolutely we've got the participation but not the funding matching what is needed. And may I follow the Father of the House in terms of linking transportation and planning issues. We are delivering homes in mid-Sussex in the right places where possible through a local plan, but being ridden roughshod by the planning inspector on neighbourhood plans is unacceptable, and our constituents are fed up. They are doing their bit when it comes to housing, and they want government to listen. May I wish the House a very happy summer, and I thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker.
Very much. Rachel Maskell.
Thank you.